Welcome back to Let's Play Resident Evil 4 Separate Ways with me, Gerupitus.
We have an irregularity. The researcher we planted has been discovered by the Illuminados.
You must be talking about that vagrant Spaniard. So where is he now?
He's held captive in an abandoned house located northeast of the village. Until he recovers the sample, we can't let him die.
You don't need to remind me. Luis Serra. And I thought I was high maintenance.
So in this chapter, we gotta go rescue Luis. And unfortunately for us, that means we've got to backtrack all the way through the village. But the first thing we're gonna want to do is loot this area. So we're gonna immediately turn around and head out here. And murder these crows. That's going to get us a little bit of money, but what I'm most interested in is this over here. Our brass pocket watch. Because we have a bunch of guns we want to buy. And let's check out the way back. I could probably climb down through here, but I have to take care of Mr. Cool first. I love how sassy she is when she discusses Luis. Just a couple of pickups in there, and then let's head back inside and loot the room, and then we'll talk to the merchant. And that should give us enough to buy everything we want here.
Welcome. Got a selection of good. What are you selling?
So we got our elegant mask
Thank you.
all done, brass pocket watch,
that all?
and this spinel. That's going to give us
Thank you.
77,000. We can get rid of these
that
chicken
all?
eggs too.
Thank you. What are you buying? Is that all?
So let's get our bigger
Thank
case.
you.
Awesome.
Is that all?
We're going to take the TMP
Is that all?
and the rifle. And now we have a little bit of an arsenal. Which is always good. Just taking a second to get organized here. Looks pretty good to me.
Thank you.
And we could buy these treasure maps, but I kind of know where all the
Come back
treasures are.
anytime.
So I won't really need them. But if I end up with a little bit of extra money, which I suspect I might, I'll go ahead and buy one of those just to kind of show what they look like. Because I never did end up buying one of those in the main campaign. And in fact, I didn't even talk about them at all. Having played the game as much as I have, I don't find the treasure maps to be particularly useful. That being said, they are probably fine for somebody who's looking to try to pick up all of the new treasures. New to them, I should say. And it probably ends up being worth it as far as monetary investment. And this time there's going to be a lady in the men's room, which is definitely a change from the main scenario. I don't really get why. But it is something new, at least. The toilet is filthy. The concept of hygiene is lost on these villagers. Yeah, so it would seem. It's the church from before. I certainly don't have any reason to go back there. Well, I hope not. But we will end up doing plenty of backtracking this mission, so there is that. And here, same as before, there's going to be a chainsaw guy, and our chainsaw guy killer is now the sniper rifle. There's going to be a fairly decent number of enemies here. But it's pretty much exactly the same as the main campaign. And he's not going down from some handgun shots. Ow. Oh, that's a shame. We're gonna have to reposition here. Let's empty our handgun. And we get a ruby, which is going to be worth a cool 10,000, as usual. So that's awesome. And why don't we go ahead and increase our life bar? Just make sure we're at our full run speed. Oh, I almost missed a bird's nest. Let's back up a little. Some handgun ammo, that seems fine enough. And they love putting enemies around these blind corners. Like, it's like a theme in this piece of content. Few more of them up there. Let's see if we can hit them with a grenade from here. Only got one of them. That's a shame. But I did happen to see that bird's nest up above me. And yes, I'm chewing through handgun ammo, but we're going to end up with too much anyway. So it's really not a big deal. I'm going to go ahead and get my shotgun out because we're going to have to head back into the village. But this time I believe there is actually a limited number of enemies. And all of the loot in here respawns. Which is a little annoying to have to, I mean, I guess you don't have to, but to feel like you have to go through and pick it all up again. But we're going to go ahead and do that. And let's just go ahead and confront this guy right away. Being careful not to hit the cow. Because I don't want to kill the cow. He didn't do anything wrong. Let's try out our TMP. Now, I do believe there are going to be a few more. But it shouldn't be too many. And so while we're hunting for loot that we've already picked up our first time through here, I do want to talk a little bit about the development of this piece of content. So if it feels a little different from the main campaign, there's a reason for that. And the reason is that it was not the main development team that made this. In fact, this piece of content was never actually even planned in the original release. Which is pretty remarkable when you think about how well, and we'll see more of it as we play through, but how well this all actually ends up fitting together. My understanding is that, for the PlayStation 2 release, people were a little unhappy with the fact that the game didn't get, like, up-res to take advantage of the superior graphical capabilities of the PlayStation 2 versus the GameCube. And so to kind of make up for that and encourage sales of this game, they thought to themselves, we should probably make some, like, extra content for it. And so they came up with the script for this, and they showed Mikami, and he thought it was great and signed off on it. But he was not the developer or creator of this. And so if it feels a little different the way it kind of plays and feels, that's why. But you'll see they end up doing a really great job of weaving in sort of unused areas and assets from the main campaign and making them into Ada's campaign. It's kind of amazing how they really pulled it off, you know? There's going to be one more ammo drop up here, and then I will be reasonably satisfied with the job I've done looting this for the second time, and I don't want to spend too much time doing it, so we're just going to go ahead and get out of here. Nothing in there for me? Great. Now, where is she? There she is. And that's everybody in here. Nothing in there. And let's check in here. A few more shotgun shells. And now we can get out of here. So now we've got the farm area, and this is pretty much exactly the same as before. But we're also going to want to loot this area. Don't hurt the cows. I'm gonna get on an angle where I'm not aiming at the cows. I won't be able to sleep tonight if I murder a cow. But as you can see, like, they really love to crank up these encounters for this piece of content. Ow. Where there's just a lot more enemies just kind of all the time. Let's just swallow a chicken egg whole. Okay. Let's kind of calm down a little bit. Now, there is a piece of treasure in here that I do want, which you may remember from the main campaign. Of course, here it's just going to be a spinel, which is sad. Oh, let's check this out. The stench is overpowering. I imagine so. It looks pretty horrible. So there's not too much to this area other than just looting it completely. And we gotta go save our high-maintenance friend. And here's a little area where we can hook shot, indicated by that shiny spinel up here. And I think it's really cool how they do stuff like that. Like this ledge, it wasn't there, I don't think, in the main campaign, if I'm not mistaken. But the point is that they make you able to traverse these areas that would have been inaccessible to Leon, which I think is just great. So let's head over here, and once again, same as before, we can actually break this. Which I think is just so cool. Now that I know you can do that, I just can't help it. Get our gold bangle. But we do still need to go upstairs. There are a couple of things up there that I want. Maybe just the one thing, but that's fine. And a hand grenade for our trouble. The door won't open. It must be barred from the other side. So it looks like we gotta go the other way. And let's watch out for these bear traps. For the sake of speed, I'm just gonna shoot them. I don't want to sit here and knife 5 of these. Just checking above me for any bird's nests. I don't think there are any here. But I'm going to look again anyway. Yeah, that's what I wanted. So this bridge was actually here in the main campaign. But you couldn't get up here. And there were actually 2 enemies on it that you could kill if you wanted to. But you could never access their drops, so there was no real reason to do it. But in our case, we got a beer stein and one other thing over here. Some more pesetas. And I just think that's so cool. It's just a way of making Ada's campaign like feel really unique. And, you know, seeing everything she goes through on these campaigns, you can see why she's a little short with Leon when they do end up meeting up. And now let's see if we can shoot this dynamite out of his hand. It's not easy. Yes. Always worth it. Uh-oh. Well, that got him and not me. Let's see if we can shoot it out of his hand. And let's just make sure I'm reloaded up before I continue into this area. But as you can see, Here as well, there are just a ton more enemies. So while I like this campaign, it does definitely show that it's not the same development team, in my opinion. Now, is that guy gonna hurl dynamite at me? Nope, but there's another one chasing me. And I think it just kind of shows like a slightly different idea about what makes the game fun. And the idea of this development team, while they had an awesome story, I think go a little heavy on just like, oh, we need to put enemies here, we need to put enemies here. Everywhere you look, there should just be new enemies. And that's a minor nitpick. Like, it's not like it's not fun. It's just different. Alright, and this is a blind corner, so I'm just expecting there to be someone there. Not exactly.
Rapido! Maldita sea.
And that is when they move Leon and Lewis to a new location. So now, guess what? We gotta backtrack through the village again. So while the scenario makes a lot of sense, and it's not really their fault, right? Like, they didn't design these levels, so to speak. They just designed a scenario to go through them. But I guess you could still refer to it as level design. And particularly this chapter, is a little bit weak. Like, you end up running through that same village. This will be the third time now. Which is not fantastic. But that being said, the story is still great and interesting. So I think overall it's worth it. Okay. I'm just like, every time there's a blind corner, I'm like, there's gonna be a guy there. But I believe there's just one dude alone in this room. Let's see if I can knife kill him. Looks like I will be able to. I felt like I didn't do enough of these to kind of show off how it's done in the in my playthrough of the main campaign, so wanted to demonstrate one there. Yeah, and I don't believe there's anything else in here that I want. So let's go ahead and head out. And they are going to throw enemies at us, but it is literally just going back where we came from. Missed that one. See if I can hit this one. Nice. Unfortunately, none of the bats got hurt. I think we can go ahead and grenade these guys. And I believe they put that there just in case you missed a hookshotting up there on your way here. Which can be easy to do if you happen to navigate around where the prompt would have been. And back through here yet again. Free Spinel, nothing wrong with that. And we're back at the village. And there is the guy wearing Leon's jacket. And you better believe we're gonna go kill that guy. Because the question of what happened to Leon's jacket was like kind of a big deal when the game originally came out. Oh, I can't believe she got me. So let's make sure we're at our full run speed. Yeah, I think TMP will be good. And this looks like a grenade situation if I've ever seen one. That was a lot. So to kind of finish my thought about Leon's jacket, you're wearing this cool, iconic jacket, you know, right at the beginning of the game. And then after you get captured, your jacket just disappears. And everyone loved that jacket. And now we finally find out what happened to it. This looks like Leon's jacket. Why is he wearing it? Because he stole it. He's a dirty thief. And I kind of can't believe we can't take it and have it end up being like an alternate costume or something, but at least we get a somewhat satisfying answer to that question. And so now we're coming up on the part where we end up saving Leon from Chief Mendez.
Hay un rumor que hay un extranjero entre nosotros.
Nuestro jefe se curará de la rata. Y si la plaga es mucho mejor que la nuestra.
Tienes razón, es un hombre.
You carry the same blood as us, it seems. Nevertheless,
You're an outsider. Just remember, if you become unpleasant to our eyes, you'll face severe consequences.
What? Same blood.
And so after that cutscene, we're immediately thrown right back into it. We'll go ahead and rifle down this Plaga. And so let me just turn around. So this, we find with Leon during the main campaign, and he says, what is this, for a ritual or something? And it's so cool to me that they, like, capture Ada and bring her here, and that's kind of what that ends up being used for, at least in part. So there's our green cat's eye. That's going to go with our beer stein. But now, thankfully, the kind of nonsense backtracking stuff is all over, and this is where it really gets good, in my opinion. We're gonna have to move, because that Plaga is dangerous. Let's just go ahead and reload up here. We are a little light on TMP ammo, so we're going to have to chill on that, I think, for a little bit. Let's go with the shotgun.
Un forastero!
And so now we are in the lift area. And let's go ahead and check that out. But the lift is not operating. And there is our friend the merchant. And an iron key. The iron key is going to allow me to turn the lift on. And later, when Leon finds it, it will be operational.
Welcome.
Let's talk to the merchant for right now, see if there's anything we
Got
want.
a selection of good things. What are you selling? Is that all? Ah. Thank you. Is that all?
And I think we're pretty safe to sell some handgun ammo.
Is that all? Thank you.
And probably some shotgun shells, too.
Is that all? What are you buying?
And since there's nothing I want and I have a ton of extra money, let's just go ahead and buy the treasure map.
Thank you. Come back.
And that way I can kind of show off what that does. So let's look at the map. And you'll see there's going to be like little stars on the map up there as well. And that's going to let me know where there are treasures that I can pick up. But we should be able to get all those without looking too hard, I would think. And I'm just going to go down below just to check it out. The door won't open. It must be locked. I need to find a key. We did find a key. So we've still got to figure out a way to get that lift turned on. And that's going to be right through here. And once again, it's still Lago's music. And this is a pretty... If this is a substitute for a boss fight, it's pretty medium in my opinion. But it's also fine. I'm just going to reposition for the sake of it. I can use this explosive barrel. I'd really like to use it on the chainsaw enemy here. Let's get our shotgun out so we don't die. And there's our lift activation key. And what I mean by it's kind of medium is that it's not impossible that they could have come up with sort of a more unique boss fight for Ada. However, well, you know what? I don't want to get ahead of myself. All I'll say is that as compared to the Chief Mendez fight, it's a little bit disappointing. All right, and that's everything I want in here, I do believe. Let's make ourselves another full heal. We're getting a little heavy on that, so I may need to sell some of that. There's our red cat's eye. Oops. Struggling with the menuing here. All right, there we go. And now we can head back to the lift. And I do believe that that's kind of a unique music cue there. At least I don't remember hearing it in the main game. And there are going to be a few others like that. But now we're far along enough in the game to be dealing with Plaga enemies, which is always the worst. And once again, Dynamite Dude just gets himself and his friend killed. This is not the best spot to be in here. Okay. I was a little nervous because I figured there would be dudes behind me. Another Plaga. But it's no match for the rifle. All right, let's get this lift started. It looks like the lift needs a key to activate it. How about this key right here? And like Ada ends up helping Leon like more than she even knows, I think. And you know, since I went through the trouble of getting it, why don't we check our map and make sure I didn't miss any treasure in this area? Looks like everything to me. And so now we're at the top of the lift. And we've still got a little ways to go. And, you know, I think that's great. Like, these chapters end up feeling like pretty hefty. Like they have a decent amount to them. And we're obviously not going to get to go this way right away, but I'll check it out. It won't open. This must be where that little runt I've read about is holed up. Let's see what we can find this way. It won't open. It's probably locked from the other side. Okay. Well, it looks like we don't have too many other options then. Just checking that because sometimes there's things hiding there. And what about in here? Just a little money and a save point, but we're not going to need that. Because we haven't nearly gotten to the difficult part of this. And there is a merchant, but I don't think he's got anything new for us. But we'll go ahead and check anyway.
Welcome. Got a selection of good. What are you selling?
Does not seem like it.
Is that all? Thank you. Is that all?
We can sell
Thank
that.
you.
And we're finally good on TMP ammo.
Come
But I'm going to go ahead and reload it before I make any decisions about that.
anytime.
Yeah, I'm pretty comfortable where I'm at. I don't need to sell any of that. And with that, I believe this is the way we want to head. And let's check this out. The door won't open. It's locked. I'd better hurry up and find that vagrant while there's still time. So since it's locked, we can actually hookshot over it. Doing a cool flip. Now, if this area looks familiar, it should. This is where we fought El Gigante. In the two pathways area. First, I want to get this, and then I'm going to hook shot up here. And this is pretty cool in my opinion. These were the kind of, like, pillars or outcroppings where the boulders were held, where you could shoot them down onto El Gigante's head. But in this scenario, we're able to hook shot up top and find some cool stuff, namely the yellow cat's eye. And I am going to want to grab this and check out the interior of these two little huts. And we're already running a little light on space here. I think I can discard a flame grenade. I'm not going to need too many of those. Pick up a new one anyway. I'm just going to leave it. And I believe that's everything that I want in here. That we can combine up for yet another full heal. And now let's get out of here. It's El Gigante! However, this El Gigante seems kind of weak. Like, he goes down to the TMP really fast, in my opinion. It could just be that the last time I remember fighting him is in the double El Gigante fight. But, like, that seems way fast, right? And then one shotgun, or one handgun bullet, and he's dead. Like, I'm glad he's in this, but that is far and away the easiest El Gigante fight in the game. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to leave that too. Maybe I should have sold some more ammunition. Oh well, no big deal. And since we've got our treasure map, let's just double check. We are totally good on treasures. So why don't we continue on and get out of here?
I forgot something. You guys go on ahead.
Louis.
Hey, señorita. Got a light and some smokes to go with it to make my day?
Where's the sample?
Okay, we skipped the foreplay. As a matter of fact, I was just going to get it. Where's the love, baby?
Sounds like fun to me. Just hurry up.
Okay, lady. Where do you stand on all of this? Exactly what kind of group are you working for?
There are some things in the world better off not knowing. This is one of them.
Fine. I can take a hint. I don't care who you are, as long as you get rid of that old man and his religious friends.
All right, that's the end of the chapter, and there may be a cutscene at the end here, so let's check that out.
Among all the people involved in this, Luis Serra has the least entanglements. He works for no organization, preferring to move on his own. I'm the one who told the organization of his importance. I did it because I like him. His history betrays an enthusiasm I once shared. It was a stroke of luck that I happened to intercept his email for help. It seems he can't trust the police, so he sent the email to an old friend from college. He must have thought his friend was still alive. At any rate, that's how I managed to find him. Apparently, he's been conducting his own investigation of the cult while doing research on Las Plagas. A brilliant scientist. He's accumulated a pile of data and pieced it all together. Must be why Sadler hired him. Too bad Sarah's snooping has aroused his suspicion. When I told him who I was, he practically begged to be taken into custody. He needed protection. He said, I have no love for Las Plagas or this stupid cult. I want out. I just want peace and quiet again. I ordered him to bring me a Master Plaga specimen, a sample for evidence. Looks like he's one of the few people whom Sadler actually trusts. Tracking him down and getting my hands on the sample shouldn't be difficult. I doubt the cult will take kindly to his escape, though. I'll have to guide this along if I want it to go smoothly.
All right, and once again, this text is going to just review what we just saw, but I think that's pretty interesting. It really fleshes out what's going on with Ada and Louis to a degree. So I'll just flip through this so you can read it if you want to. And that's going to be the end of that chapter. So that's all the time I've got for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.